Hi, welcome to our first topic, number 1, on the introduction to management for the principles of management. What are the learning objectives for this topic? First, we are going to take a look at the basic functions of management. Second, we are going to identify the different levels of management. Third, we are going to identify the basic skills of a manager. Fourth, we are going to differentiate the managerial skills from management level. What is the definition of management? It's the attainment of organizational goals in an effective and efficient manner through planning, organizing, leading, and controlling of organizational resources. What kind of resources are we looking at? We are looking at money as a form of resource, people as a form of resource, land, equipment as part of resources too. What are the 4 functions of management? They are first, planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. P, O, L, and C for the abbreviation. What is planning? Planning defines where the organization wants to be in future and how to get there. It first has got to identify the goals, it has to decide on the task, and then we talk about the use of resources. So for example, the goal of an organization is to increase the market share by 5% by the end of 2020. So we have got to decide on the task to achieve the goal of increasing the market share by 5%. And one of the ways is to increase the marketing efforts. Then how do we deploy the resources? We then have got to assign a certain amount of money called the budget to implement the goal, and the amount of resources in terms of manpower to do the job. What then is organizing? In organizing, the definition is basically assigning tasks, who to do it. How do we group tasks into the departments, the what to do, and how do we allocate the resources as in terms of how to do it. So, if we need to assign the task to be done, who are we delegating the task to? It would be the sales and marketing department to increase and drive the sales. How are we going to do it? We're going to basically set up a new social media task force. And what are the various ways to allocate the resources? First, we have to assign monies, a budget for each activity, and how many people to do it in terms of manpower allocation. The third function has got to do with leading. And in leading, we are looking at the use of influence to motivate employees to achieve organizational goals. Here we are looking at the leader, the team leader, who is actually influencing and motivating the people to work towards the organizational goals. And this person needs to have empathy. This person needs to be able to influence and motivate the team of people to carry out the various tasks and to be motivated to work towards achieving the goals. The 4th function of management is controlling. What is controlling? It is monitoring the employees' activities and keeping the organization on track to achieve its organizational goals. And it is making corrections when needed. For example, if the expenditure for a specific activity has exceeded the budget that has been allocated to them, one of the corrective actions is to scale back the activities for that specific event. In this present situation of the COVID-19 virus outbreak, many countries have adopted different control measures to contain the outbreak. In Singapore, we have the Bluetooth-based contact tracing app. In Hong Kong, we have the smartphone-linked wristbands. In China, we have the CCTV cameras, mobile barcodes, and drones. In South Korea, they have the credit card record, CCTV footage, and location data. In China in particular, they have installed mass surveillance cameras in front of the homes of those who have been quarantined. And the purpose, of course, is to control and contain the COVID-19 virus outbreak. If the cameras and the surveillance cameras show that the people have broken the quarantine order, then China or the Chinese government would enforce its laws. Similarly, in Singapore, if any of our people breaks the quarantine orders or the stay-at-home notice, these people would be charged under the Infectious Disease Acts. And these are some of the measures in terms of the control measures that have been taken to control the spread of the virus. Now we're going to take a look at organizational performance. That is, how are we going to attain the organizational goals? And the two ways of achieving the organizational goals is basically organizational effectiveness, and the second is organizational efficiency. In the terms of organizational effectiveness, what do you mean by that? It is the degree to which the organization achieves a stated goal, and that goal could be to increase the revenue of the company. And how do they go about doing it? It could be in various ways. So it is the organization doing the right things. In organizational efficiency, it refers to the amount of resources used to achieve an organizational goal, that is doing the things right. And organizational resources means, again, it could be the number of people, for example, that's required to increase the production of gourmet cafe packets. So, for example, this gourmet manufacturing company initially requires 10 people to produce a volume of production of 900 gourmet coffee packets. But now it only requires 2 people through automation to produce 900 packets. So is the organization efficient? You are right. Yes, it is, because now it requires fewer number of resources to produce the same amount or volume of production. In summary, effectiveness is concerned about achieving the end results. However, efficiency is concerned with the means or how things are done. Now, let's stop and think. In the midst of the COVID-19 virus currently that's impacting the whole world, one of the companies that have been affected in the aviation industry is SIA. Now, SIA started to slash the capacity by 96%. The group's cost cuts to affect 10,000 staff. And basically, SIA is actually facing the worst crisis to date. And one of its goals is to increase the revenue of the company. So they have decided to cut its network, and it is planning to cut 96% of its flights. And from an original of 147 fleet of aircraft, it is now grounding 138 SIA and Silk Air planes instead, basically leaving 9 operational passenger aircraft to fly. And currently, even Scoot, it is actually grounding 47 of its 49 aircraft. There has never been such a phenomenon as this, and this is the first time in history that it has started to slash the number of flights due to its vanishing travel demand. Secondly, what SIA is doing, it is actually initiating steep salary reductions for senior management and introducing compulsory no-pay leave for its 10,000 staff because the international travel comes to a grinding halt. Stop and think. What is SIA organizational goal? Is SIA using organizational effectiveness or efficiency to achieve its organizational goal? Think about it. Well, you are right. The organizational goal for SIA at this point in time is to increase the revenue of the organization or company. And how did they manage to do it? Well, one, they have slashed the number of flights from 147 to 138 planes. And they have also implemented deep salary reductions for senior staff. Third, they have also introduced compulsory no pay leave for its 10,000 employees. And these are the various ways that they have managed to do it in order to increase the organizational effectiveness. We are now going to stop here for the first half of the lecture. And we shall now be proceeding to the second part of the recorded lecture in the next phase. Thank you.